So I thought I'd do some video blogs, just quick little videos, and just if I see something online and just maybe have a quick talk about it. Okay, so I just saw this post, and it had pictures of American money and the figureheads they have on there, and it points out they're all slave owners. So people see money, and other people see pictures of people that used to own their ancestors, legally own people. I certainly know how that feels. So let's talk about slavery. Here's a surprise for some of you. It never ended. How's that? It never stopped. It just got a PR campaign, and it got driven underground. It became more insidious, and you are all enslaved. The system basically creates that from the moment you are popped out of the room. You're given a certificate where you hand over basically your child to a corporation. It's called a birth certificate. It's a pretty sick document, so they can fuck off straight away. And then from there, your children are indoctrinated in schools, obviously government-run schools, to basically be less empathetic, to be derogatory towards things like religion and spirituality. It's mumbo jumbo. They claim science, but it's only the science they want you to know. It's not about challenging that science and having an element of curiosity. No, they don't want your children to be like that. They just want them to basically memorize the information that they want them to have. And if you're really good at memorizing it, you can go all the way through and get a certificate to say how clever you are at repeating information you've never challenged. Most people, there are obviously exceptions to the rule. So you're not taught about things like taxes, entrepreneurialism, and questioning why. Do you know when your kids are small, that question they ask all the time? Why? They're always seeking answers. Their curiosity is just unbridled. Their consciousness is hungry. And we put them into a system that does nothing but suppress that. Isn't that sad? And doesn't it make you think, why? Why do they always ask? It's within our fundamental nature to be curious. And yet the system does everything it can to pollute that curiosity. And if you get too curious, they'll even find labels they can use to sedate you and shut you up. Or at least they think they can. So the slave trade didn't die. You're all slaves. It just became a lot more insidious. Think about your average week. You work, 40, 50, 60 hours, and you're going to panic if you're out of work for 4 weeks, because the cost of everything for most people is astronomical, and it's really hard to keep up with those costs on the wages. And you have to remember that the government control both the costs of everything and your wages. So think about that, guys. It should wake you up to the fact that this world needs individuals to be a lot more autonomous. And culture is beautiful. It's beautiful, and it should be encouraged and enriched. And the reason you should want to travel is because you should want to explore those cultures, and they should all be celebrated, and nobody should be told that there's something wrong with them because of what people before them did of the same skin colour. That's just a repellent attitude. None of us can do anything really about that unless we willingly engage in repeating that behaviour, which the elites have done willingly to all of us. And instead of looking at each other as the problem because of gender or skin colour or fucking, I don't know, mask on, whatever it is, look at them. They're on both sides of the fence, guys. And don't be so willing to give your children up to this. Maybe instead of just all shrugging your shoulders and saying, well, that's just the way it is. No, it isn't. I've proven that. I've learned to live work in exchange for accommodation, and basically be an errand girl around the city for donations. And I struggle, I do. But they can't take that away from me. They can't do anything about it. And okay, so you might come up and say, well, you don't pay taxes. I've paid taxes all my life, and I have no problem actually contributing to a tax system. But if I look at the money that gets put into the tax system, and then I look around me, I can't see that money. I don't see it. I see a select group of people turning a blind eye and being comfortable or wealthy. I see everyone else suffering. So where is it? What's it doing for us? Nothing. Again, it's just a rose. It's a rouse. We're actually funding our own slavery. How sick is that? It's so gross. So just take a step back and ask yourselves, what's actually going on here in terms of the trajectory that we're all set from day one? Where does it lead us? It leads us on a hamster wheel of perpetual just frustration at having to pay bills, and yes, you might get a holiday every now and then, a few nice things, but really you can't take your possessions to the grave. You take your memories, but and great to have holidays and things, but really think about what you have to do to earn that, and think about the quality of your everyday existence too, and the amount that our children are starved of family, community, parenting, and everything else, and the destruction that all of that causes. And again, that's deliberate. They flood our neighbourhoods with knives and drugs and guns and alcohol shops and betting shops, and a kid will get 5 years for selling, 500 Xanax or something, 100 Xanax or something, but your GP won't. In fact, he'll get paid to do it. Just think about those things, and think about the cycle of slavery, and look at the history of slavery, and then compare it to the modern day, and ask yourself, is this still going on? Because I promise you it is. It just became a lot more insidious, and it got a PR campaign. So maybe we should think about that in terms of what's going on at the moment, and instead of shrugging our shoulders and saying, what can we do? That's just the way it is. Well, these fuckers want to reset. Bring it on. Maybe we'll reset it. Maybe we'll be the ones that decide what the stage looks like this time, and not just a handful of people that are buoyant and don't struggle like we do.